Hi everyone and welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War Iron Man Mark 46. So this is part of the Giant Man Build-A-Figure wave. And as you can see there from the box already, this is an Iron Man that comes with blast effects. This is absolutely fantastic. Now there are some major drawbacks to the figure, but obviously that is just one major plus point that you can already see from the box. So we can see some nice artwork on the back and a little bio. Coming down to the bottom we can see everyone else in the wave. I just have Black Panther to go ahead and review now, and then we can do the Build-A-Figure. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a closer look. And here is Iron Man out of the packaging. So just like I said, basically this figure has some really good points, that being the mold and the accessories, and then just some really bad points, which are to me the articulation in a couple of areas, and then overall just the paint job. So I'm actually going to get a second one of these figures so that I can do a custom and make it look how I want it to look, and maybe even change up some of that articulation so that I can actually have a much better figure. If we compare it to the Mark 43, it's also the same mold as the Mark 42. You know, it's about the same height there, so that's very good. It's obviously just a little bit more bulky than this suit, but that looks like, the way it is in the movie. And as you can see, it's a much better scaling than the Iron Man 2 Mark 6, so you can see how these recent movie armors have gotten much better in their size, because, the Mark 6 there, it's just too small, because you've got to imagine that Tony Stark within that suit has got to be even smaller, and that just wouldn't look right next to other standard Legends figures. So I really do like the bulk of the recent armors. However, I think I would prefer a slightly darker red, just like this on this armor right here. So the molding and the actual physical parts that we get are absolutely fantastic. We have these blast effects, which are amazing. They look like import effects because of the way that they're done. So they're actually done in translucent plastic, and then they are painted with a bit of white there. Just looks absolutely fantastic. Now, as you can see, these two pieces are separate. You can actually unpeg them, so you can have the blast effect like that, or you can have a blast effect just like this, so whichever you prefer. You can actually go ahead and peg them into the feet as well as, boosters, so that's absolutely fantastic, and you get a pair of them. Would have been nice to get 4 so that you could have him flying and shooting, but you only get those 2. You can actually use the War Machine parts with this figure, and vice versa. You can use these in the War Machine one. That's the only other Iron Man figure from Legends, which technically it's a War Machine, but that has actually come with actual blast effects. So it's really nice to get those once again. So as for the rest of the mold, it looks absolutely awesome. It's got so much line work in here, and just all the intricate little details of the suit. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now the unfortunate thing about it is that it's been let down by the paint, and that's one reason I'll be doing a custom. I'll be doing some battle damage and stuff on it, so I'll really kind of make it my own. Now we do have the reactor paint right here. However, this circle, this circle, this circle, this circle, I think there's some more down here somewhere. There's a circle right there, one right there, one right there, one right there, and vice versa on the other side. They're all supposed to be lit up like the chest reactor there, very similar to the Heroic Age Iron Man armor. However, here we only have the main chest reactor actually painted. We do not get the repulsors painted on the hands here either. Don't mind about this one, obviously, because that's where the peg goes. But as for all of those, they really should have been done, and they would make the suit look absolutely fantastic, and they're not. So that's a pretty major reason why I want to do a custom. Also, here on the side, we have silver paint. Here on the side, no silver paint, and that is like it with all of them. Also, where you get the silver, it tends to just not really cover the red very well. You have a lot of red showing through in parts. We have silver where it shouldn't be. Down here on the back as well, you can see lots of red showing through, and up here it's just pretty sloppy in places, to be honest, not all that great. We have some gold running over onto the fingers that shouldn't be there. The gold for the most part is a nice thicker paint, so it's actually got much better coverage, and the red molded plastic is nice, but it just lacks that little extra bit, just that quality control really, and that extra little bit of paint for all those little reactors, if they are separate or whatever they are, just would have made this thing look so much more accurate and so much better. So onto the articulation. Yes, you can get it in a good flight pose, because the head looks up all the way. It looks down all the way to left and right, pivot at the head, and also you can go ahead and move the torso back. So yes, you can get him in a nice flight pose, which is awesome. The torso also moves left and right, and it crunches forward there too, and pivots side to side a real good amount. Now the shoulders here, the shoulder bells are connected to the actual shoulder itself, as opposed to either on the arm or the torso, which means that you don't get great articulation going out to the side. It can't go all the way out horizontal, which I don't mind too much, because it does look fantastic. Would have been nice to have brought the arm a little bit further up than that though. They rotate all the way around. We have a rotation here at the upper part of the arm, double jointed elbows, rotation, and a hinge at the wrist. Now, as you can see here, I have this slightly pulled out from the joint. That's to enable the hand to move all the way up into a repulsor blast pose. If you peg it all the way in like so, you can't actually lift the hand up, so just unpeg it a little bit and it'll actually work much better for you. Down to the hips, they come out this far, which is just as wide as I would want them to go. You can get really nice action poses with them. However, for an action figure, it is pretty weak. It's very weak going forward. It only goes that much forward, so you can't really bring his knee right up for some awesome flight poses, which really sucks. As you can see inside this joint, if you just opened this little cavity up more inside there, if you pop it off the ball joint and just Dremel that out, sand it out, you could get a much better range of motion there. Also, this little bit that sticks down here, if you just go ahead and just cut that out so that you've got one smooth line there, sure, you'll see more of the joint and it won't be as accurate looking, but you will be able to move that leg all the way up. So that's definitely something that I might consider with my custom. Rotation here at the upper part of the thigh, double jointed knees which move all the way back, and then we have the feet that go down and up and have ankle pivot. And I really do like how the silver is painted within there, so it overall, you know, there's some parts of the paint job that are good, some parts that are bad, some parts of the actual molding that are good in terms of detail, but then some bad, and that's the articulation. You do get good accessories. I just have to mention, you do actually get duplicates of these, so you actually get 2 fists and 2 repulsor blast hands. I have to say, it's an absolutely fantastic looking figure. Sure, you can't articulate it as well as some other Iron Man figures, however, it is absolutely fantastic. I definitely recommend it, you know, especially for that blast effect. That looks awesome. It is a good figure, but it could have been an absolutely amazing one. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see more pictures of anything else from my collection, go ahead and check out my Instagram. It's Homerino123, and the link is in the description below, along with my Twitter and my Twitch. And for more Marvel Legends reviews, go ahead and subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.